Hello guys, and welcome back to Championship predictions for the final time in the regular season. Sophie, it's over.
I know. Well, nearly over. We've still got the playoffs to go, but honestly, this final day is probably the most interesting in a long time.
I know, it's brilliant because there's so much to play for, but after Saturday, it's pretty much over. It's really, really sad. We have still got the playoffs, we've still got the Premier League, we've still got so much coverage to come, so make sure to stick around on the channel. And I just want to take this opportunity to say a massive, massive thank you for your support this season. Whether you are a regular viewer or someone who's become a new viewer this season, it really is appreciated. And in that spirit, let's say 4,400 likes is the like target. Let's go for a record-breaking like target because it's doable with your great support. Get involved. Let's do it. Even if you're someone who doesn't hit the like button, on this occasion, hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you haven't already. We are getting very close to hitting 100,000 subscribers, so yeah, your support really does help us. Just click that subscribe button. And Sophie, before we get into the predictions, because there's some big games to predict, let's talk about last week where you lost again, and now you're 40 points behind overall going into the final week. You are toast.
Shocking. Shocking.
I am the king of predictions.
I mean, this video is almost pointless, isn't it?
No, it isn't. There's a lot to predict and people will want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not you, but yeah. Right, okay, like I say, lots to play for. The title, the playoffs and survival down at the bottom. We start with a big one, Sophie. Bristol City take on Preston North End. They both have something to play for. So Bristol City, Sophie, the playoffs are in their hands. If they win, they're guaranteed to finish in there. If they draw, it could be enough, but it depends on other results. If they lose, it could also be enough depending on other results. But they have the home advantage. It's in their hands. You think they should get it done. You know, they've been good at home. They have just taken a 4-0 beating off Leeds away from home. Yeah. And the thing is, Preston come here with something to play for. Now, you can obviously point to Preston's form and say, well, they're not in good form. The obvious thing to do is to go for Bristol City, but this is the Championship. Whatever's obvious, surely go for the opposite. It's not impossible. Preston come here and win. Everything logically says the opposite will happen. But now that it's on the line that Preston could go down if they lose this, they have to come here and get something.
Surely.
Now, obviously, as a Coventry fan, it would benefit Coventry if Bristol City don't win this game, preferably if they lose it. I'm not going to use my heart, I'm going to use my head. I think Preston come here and they give it a real go, but I don't think they're going to get anything. I think Preston might have to look at results elsewhere and hope for a favour. I'm going to say 2-1 to Bristol City. I just like them at home. I think it's going to be sold out, and I think they're going to get the job done. Yeah,
they're a very, very different team at home, and this is a massive game because neither team is on the beach here, so everyone has something to play for. Obviously, Bristol City, they're going to want to bounce back after that Leeds game because they just weren't in it at all. However, they're a very, very different team at home, and that is why I'm leaning towards them. And as you say, I think Preston are just going to have to be looking at other results because I don't see them getting anything here. I'm in agreement, 2-1.
Oh, goodness me, we're going for the same. We are sorry, Preston. Like I say,
we're hoping you get something.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm a Preston fan this weekend. But
reverse psychology.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we'll put the pressure on Preston. We'll say, look at this, you're going down. You better prove us wrong. And then they'll go and get something. Guys, honestly, I don't like predicting anyone to ever get relegated, but someone has to, and this is going to be nail-biting. Let us know your thoughts on that one. Let's see if Paul Heckingbottom can pull it off. I will say as well, though, finally, Sophie, on Bristol City, it'd be an incredible story for Manning to get them in there after what's gone on this season. So let's see what happens. The next game, Sophie, is at Turf Moor. Burnley take on Millwall, two teams with also something to play for. Burnley are going for the title, Millwall are going for the playoffs. They both have to win, really, to get what they need. Burnley need to win and hope Leeds don't win. It's technically possible Burnley could win the league with a draw if Leeds lose to Plymouth. Millwall must win to get into the playoffs. A draw won't get them in there because Coventry are playing Middlesbrough, so one of them would finish ahead of Millwall if Millwall don't win. Millwall, Sophie, have this fantastic record against the top three teams.
Just top six for me.
Well, they beat Burnley earlier this season. They've beaten Sheffield United away. They've beaten Leeds twice in the FA Cup and in the Championship. And I wouldn't be entirely surprised if they pull it off. They're not the favourites, but
they're in good form though at the moment.
They've got to go for this. They've got nothing to lose. The thing is, Sophie, Burnley have just won 5-0 away at QPR.
I know.
They are in their stride. Scott Parker's been given manager of the season, and I don't know if Burnley are going to lose, Sophie. They've not lost a home game all season. Millwall have to beat them though. I'm going to go for a 1-1, which is probably not enough for Millwall, as I say, but I struggle to see them beating Burnley. I'm going to go for a draw, which I think it'd be close. Maybe Millwall take the lead, but I just cannot see them quite doing it.
This is really, really tricky because, as you say, Burnley at home are absolutely solid, and defensively they're solid as well. So if anyone could do it, it would be Millwall for me. But I don't know, I think Burnley obviously going to want to finish top spot. Millwall need a win. This is another massive game. But I'm going Burnley. I'm going 1-0 Burnley.
Yeah, look, Millwall have been in great form, and if they do it, they will have deserved it because
100%.
of this great run.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure. I do prefer them at the Den. And last time they were away from home, they were up in Lancashire. They lost 4-1 to Blackburn. I think there'll be a lot of good fight from Millwall, but I just think Burnley are too strong.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts down below. Right, Sophie, the next game we are going to at the CBS, Coventry City versus Middlesbrough. Honestly, I'm biting my nails every day. I can't wait for this game. I'm excited and nervous.
Yeah.
I just want it to come around. We've got a whole week to wait until we get to this game. Let's run through it. Of course, Coventry City will make the playoffs if we win. Middlesbrough have to win to have a chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah.
A draw could be enough for Coventry, depending on other results. Coventry have the home advantage. I like us at home.
Yeah.
Under Frank Lampard, we've only lost at home to Burnley and Leeds in the Championship. Middlesbrough are not in a great place at the minute. 0-0 against Norwich last time. They're not in great form, not in great confidence. But if you want to flip it...
We've just lost 2 on the bounce to relegation teams.
Exactly. Coventry have just lost their last 2. I will say we have won our last 2 home games. But another stat that might go in Middlesbrough's favour is... obviously, this is the 5th season Coventry City and Middlesbrough have been in the Championship together now. And in all 4 previous seasons, Middlesbrough have finished above Coventry in the table. So if that's going to happen, Middlesbrough would have to win this game.
No.
But if you're not aware, guys, Middlesbrough have a really rotten record against Coventry City in recent history, and especially at our ground. I think a lot of the Middlesbrough fans are not going to come here with much confidence, but maybe that could work. Maybe they'll come here thinking, no pressure's on us, the pressure's on Cov. I'm going to try and flip the script. Pressure's on you, Middlesbrough. You've got to come and beat us.
There is pressure. There's definitely pressure.
Pressure's on you. As for a prediction, honestly, I would have loved it if we could have both made the playoffs, because there is friendly banter between the Coventry and Middlesbrough fans, but...
Yeah.
I think Coventry are going to win. And I'm not just saying that as a Coventry fan, but I do think Coventry have just got a bit more about them, and we're at home. 1-0 to Coventry.
Genuinely, I'm not as confident, you know. I think it could be a draw. Middlesbrough need to get the win, but ultimately we need a win because we want to finish fifth spot if possible. But I know we've got a pretty good record against Middlesbrough, but actually watching us the last couple of games, we've been dreadful. So I'm hoping that... Firstly, we can keep 11 men on the pitch. That'd help. But I don't know. We are a better team at home. There's just so much riding on this game. 1-1. Yeah, I really, really want Coventry to win, obviously, but I think it's going to be a really tight game. I know you're way better at predictions in the Championship, so I'm hoping yours comes true. But yeah, I think the nerves are getting the better of me in this prediction.
Fair enough. We'll see. I mean, what I will say is Coventry City are having a little bit of an injury crisis.
Yes.
Little bit of a goalkeeping crisis. But I'm just hoping in one game we can just put a load of fight in. How's your bottle, Coventry? If Doug King really does think this is a top 6 deck, they will deliver now.
And everyone's saying, like, oh, bring Wilson in for the last game. A, we don't know if he's actually fit or not. But B, you don't bring a player in for like the biggest game of the season. You're going to have to stick with Collins now and hope that he can do a whole 90 plus whatever minutes, good performance. Because for the majority against Luton, he played well. He's just always got a clanger in him. So as long as we're leading...
As long as we're 3-0 up.
Yeah, then he can afford a clanger.
Yeah,
so,
there you go. Nice and easy. Right, let us know your thoughts down below on that one, and like I say, look out for the match vlog on Saturday. Safe travels to the Coventry and Middlesbrough fans going to this game. We'll see you there. The next one, Sophie, is also a massive game as Derby County take on Stoke City, Sophie. These two are just above the bottom 3, and they will be looking at results elsewhere to determine if one of these might go down. Obviously they can't both go down, but if they're unlucky, one of these might go down. Derby would need to beat Stoke to finish ahead of them because they are currently just behind them. Derby have been in good form. I backed them to beat Hull 1-0 and they pulled it off.
Yeah, well
and I think they're going to be all right under John Eustace. Mark Robbins, he's seen Stoke City slide back in there a little bit with that defeat to Sheffield United, but so long as they don't lose, they're safe. I'm going to go 1-1. Yeah, I think if
Gentleman's agreement.
I think
Write
so.
it out.
I think if there's going to be a winner, it might be Derby.
Yeah.
But I think Stoke might be able to get a draw, and maybe they'll both stay up.
I'll go 2-1 Derby.
Ooh.
I fancy a last-minute winner in favour of Derby, to be fair. I didn't think that was a good performance, Stoke against Sheffield United. However, it is against Sheffield United and they're very, very solid. They need to get something here. But I just fancy Derby, especially at home, so 2-1. I think there could be an element where they both go, oh, okay, yeah, draw suits us both. We'll just play it out, won't go all out for it. But I just fancy... last minute, Derby go, nah, do you know what? Bang. Okay, well, what I will say to the Stoke fans to reassure them is Sophie has got Preston North End losing, which means Stoke will still be safe, even with a defeat. Wow. Okay, right, on to the next one, Sophie. We go to Carrow Road. It's Norwich City versus Cardiff City. Aaron Ramsey versus Jack Wilshere. I know, that's so weird.
Interesting. Both have had underperforming seasons, especially Cardiff, Sophie. I mean, I didn't think they'd get relegated at the start of the season. I think we both predicted them to be mid-table.
Mid-table, yeah.
It feels like they've not been great, and then they've actually got worse and worse and worse. You know,
but they just sacked the manager too late. We've seen that time and time again. It's like, okay, well, you're really close to relegation now. Point fingers at the manager, and then they've left it too late for me.
Do you think they'll come back up next year?
No.
Oh, that's a bold prediction.
Yeah, I'll say no. Not automatics anyway.
It's a hard division, League One.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, as for a prediction, I'm pretty happy with Norwich after they went to Middlesbrough and stopped them from winning. And Norwich could have won that game, actually.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah.
I'm going to go for a couple of goals. Norwich 2, Cardiff 1.
I'm just going to go 1-0 Norwich. I mean, Cardiff relegated, nothing to play for. Maybe a bit of respect and dignity, but I think a lot of that's gone by this point. Norwich as well, they've not really got anything to play for, so it's a bit of a nothing game. Norwich 1-0. Norwich
1-0, yeah, not a lot really riding on that, is there? Share your thoughts down below. Sophie, next up we go to Home Park as Plymouth Argyle take on Leeds United, and we will be saying goodbye to both of these clubs here, Sophie. Yeah. I've really enjoyed these two, Sophie. I mean, I think they're both great clubs. Plymouth offers something unique. Leeds United are a big, fantastic, historical club. And it is a shame to see them both go. Obviously, as far as Leeds are concerned, we're going to congratulate them on being promoted. And will they get the win to win the title, Sophie? I think they might. As I say, I've enjoyed Plymouth. I'm gutted that they're going down. I did predict them to win 2-1 at Preston last time, which they did. But now that it's pretty much confirmed that they can't stay up, I wonder if heads might drop a little bit. I really want to see Plymouth come back up next year, Sophie. But for this one, Leeds will be partying after that great win against Bristol City. And they're going to be...
What performance that was as well, by the way.
Marching down to the South Coast together to pick up a 4-1 win as they go on to win the title. And 100 points as well.
Yeah, that's what they're aiming for, isn't it? 100 points. And I think they're going to get it as well, to be honest. I watched that Bristol City game. It was one-way traffic throughout. They were just incredible. But we've seen that before. They've just been very, very solid. And I think they would have already hit 100 points if it wasn't for Meslier, but let's not go there. I genuinely feel gutted for Plymouth because I wanted them to stay up, and I'd wish they'd brought in Muslic sooner, and I think they would have stayed up. But if they stick with him and keep some of those players, I think they've got a good chance of coming up again next season. But for now, 3-0 Leeds. Yeah, like I say, we will see Plymouth Argyle and Leeds United in the League One and Premier League predictions next season, so keep your support coming if you support those two clubs. But yeah, like I say, it's a shame for Coventry that we won't go away to these two unless Coventry get promoted. Exactly, with Leeds. Don't rule us out. Sophie, the next game is on the South Coast. Portsmouth take on Hull City. First of all, we need to say congratulations again to Portsmouth, who are safe. They picked up another draw against Sheffield Wednesday. It wasn't quite the 4-4 I predicted, but a 1-1. Yeah. They've been good this season. They take on Hull, Sophie, who have got it all to play for. Basically, the relegation battle, nothing exciting will happen if Hull lose. Hull need to at least get something to put the pressure on the others. Now, going away to Fratton Park is difficult. Very difficult. Portsmouth are really good at home. I'm not sure if I fancy Hull to go and win this, but they are better away, Hull City. They are, yeah. I think they could... have anything to play for. I think Hull might get a draw.
They need to at least get a draw to give themselves a chance. If they win, they definitely stay up, but a draw could be enough. I'm going to go 1-1, and with the fact that I've predicted Preston to lose, that would mean Hull are staying up.
Do you know what? I'm going to go for something interesting here. Hull 2-1. I think they finally turn up, show a bit of fight and get something.
Wow.
And it's very, very tricky to go to Pompey and get something there because they've been very good at home this season. But they need to do it. They need to do it comfortably. I don't think it is going to be a comfortable game. I'm only going to separate the two by 1 goal, but I fancy Hull to actually do it. 2-1.
2-1, wow. Do share your thoughts down below. As I say, because we've both predicted Preston to lose, a draw would be enough for Hull anyway, but a win would definitely be enough. So Hull City, we are backing you to pull off a great escape on the final day. Let us know your thoughts. I'm not massively confident, but I don't know, it's going to be nail-biting. They've got to show some fight.
Exactly.
Let's go to Bramall Lane, Sophie, where Sheffield United take on Blackburn Rovers. I mean, Sophie, I've got to be honest, I find it hilarious that Blackburn could still finish in the playoffs.
They genuinely could, I know.
I mean, no disrespect, because, you know, they've done well recently, but we were all sort of like, oh, what a mess, a couple of weeks ago.
I counted them out. I said there's no way they're making the playoffs.
Imagine if they got promoted.
I know, I'd be like, okay. I clearly don't know what I'm on about, but yeah, they're still in it right now. This is a really, really tough game, though.
It's a big game. It certainly is. It's a tough one. Yeah, Sheffield United have picked up from last time.
As long as they don't rest players, though, they might have one eye on the playoffs and go, nah. Depends if they want momentum or they want to rest players. That's what the game balances on.
The thing is, if Sheffield United lose this, there's a chance that they then play Blackburn in the playoffs, and you're going into that on the back of losing to them. And I don't know, you know, Sheffield United need to put some fight in. They did play well against Stoke last time,
they did.
And they have the home advantage. They don't want to just, you know, put on no show in front of their own fans. Let me just run through the permutation, Sophie. So with my predictions, I've already got Bristol City and Coventry to win, which means Blackburn can't make the playoffs even if they do win this, in my prediction.
Right.
However, you've got Coventry to draw, so Blackburn could make the playoffs if you back them to win. And you have just said that Sheffield United might rotate, so I'm curious to see what you're going to say. I think Blackburn will give this a go. I think they'll score for sure.
Yeah.
I just think it's a really awkward one. I think Millwall and Blackburn have come quite unlucky here that when it all matters, that final game, they're away at top 3 teams.
I know.
It's not impossible Blackburn could do it, but I'm going to back the Blades 2-1. What are you saying? Can Blackburn do it?
I think they will get a draw.
Oh.
So it's not enough. But I actually see them turning up, giving them a really, really good game and walking away with a point, which ultimately wouldn't be enough in my predictions. But I do think that Sheffield United will rest a couple players. They might get a goal and then take off some of them, and that's when I think Blackburn could then capitalise on it. But I think only as far as a draw for me. So 1-1.
1-1, which would mean Blackburn just miss out, and you've got Coventry to just make it. But we'll be looking at our phones on the final day, hoping that Blackburn
no
to score.
signal, like please.
Blimey, you've got it to be a nail-biting finish in the playoff race. Right, let's move on to the next one, Sophie. We go to the Stadium of Light as Sunderland take on Queen's Park Rangers. Not a lot riding on this one. Sunderland, of course, are going into the playoffs. They could do with at least one win.
Yeah, it's poor form.
They need some momentum, otherwise everyone's going to lick their lips at the prospect of playing Sunderland in the playoffs. I know they've rotated, but come on, pick it up a bit. This is a nice fixture, really, playing QPR, who've just lost 5-0 at home to Burnley. I suppose QPR might want a reaction, but I think Sunderland are going to get something to get them going again. I'm going to go 2-1 Sunderland. I'm
going 2-0. I don't fancy QPR to get anything after their last result, which they might then think, oh, we need to, just to save face. But I think Sunderland will want a win going into the playoff games, just for the confidence. So they might play not a completely full strength team, but pretty strong team to get that momentum going, because there's not a lot at the moment, not positive momentum anyway, and you're going to need it going into the playoffs. So yeah, I think they'll do it. 2-0. 2-0.
Both back in the Black Cats, and like we say, we'll see them for the championship predictions for the playoffs next week. Next up, Sophie, we go to Swansea City versus Oxford United. I actually want to start with an apology, because Oxford United have proved so many people wrong this season, including myself. I'm not sure if
probably me as well.
Probably you. Let's be honest, at the start of the season, I just thought I don't know, have they got what it takes to stay up? I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't anticipate a change in management, and it's been a masterstroke. I thought Des Buckingham was decent, but Gary Rowett has been fantastic. So, apologies, Oxford United, because I didn't fancy you at the start of the season, and you've stayed up before the final day. I think they're going to get another result here. I'm going to go for a draw. Swansea have been in good form lately, Sophie, but they did lose to Millwall last time. Let's go for some fun in South Wales. Swansea 2, Oxford 2, and we'll see you both in the Championship next year.
Yeah, we will. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Swansea because every so often they'll just pop up with a really, really good result. So 3-0, just because I feel like Oxford, they've done really well this season. They've impressed me anyway because I'm pretty sure I had them to go down, to be honest. So the fact that they've stayed up is really good. But they've done that, so they've not really got anything to play for. Neither have Swansea, but as we said a couple of videos ago, that now that the pressure's off Swansea, they just play really nice football. So I think they're going to end on a high, 3-0. 3-0,
there you go. There's me trying to build bridges with the Oxford fans, and you're smashing those bridges down.
I'm sorry, 3-0.
Well, they were brilliant against Sunderland last week.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll take their foot off the gas now that they're safe. Next up, Sophie, a real dead rubber at Vicarage Road. It's the battle for 12th place between Watford and Sheffield Wednesday. Two teams that I suppose you can take positives from this season. It feels like the managers are up against it. Danny Roll, of course, with Chancery above him. And Sheffield Wednesday are a big club. I really wanted to see them make the playoffs, but it's just too much chaos off the pitch.
Yeah.
Similar at Watford. I mean, Watford have overachieved as far as I'm concerned. Tom Cleverley's done a great job there, but
he might be off as well, though.
They've fallen away a little bit. I'm glad that they've stuck by him, by the way, especially the Watford fans. I can't really pick a winner here. I'm going to go for a draw. 2-2 again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they get on next season because both their managers are linked with moves away. And both to other Championship teams as well, to be fair. Not a lot to play for. Wednesday 2-1.
Oh,
I think they'll do it. Yeah.
They're better on the road, aren't they?
Exactly. That's why I'm just leaning towards them.
And let's go to the final prediction of the season, Sophie. We are at the Hawthorns for West Brom versus Luton Town. Now, West Brom, of course, can't make the playoffs, but Luton could do with something. They need something. If Hull City are going to get a result, then Luton at least need to get a draw.
Yeah.
A win will guarantee their safety. It's in their hands. They've been incredible lately. That win at Derby was the turning point, and since then they've beaten Bristol City at home, Coventry at home. I think they're going to get something here. Wouldn't be entirely surprised if it's a draw, but I'm going for them to get the 3 points. West Brom 0, Luton 1. I reckon Luton, they're just going to pull off this great escape.
See, I think they're going to stay up as well, but for the drama and for it to be nail-biting right until the end, because they're not going to know the other scores, I'm going to have them to finish with a draw. 1-1.
1-1.
1-1 for the drama.
So let me run through this. You've got Hull City to win, Luton to draw, but because you've got Preston to lose, you've got Preston missing out and going down.
Yeah.
I have the same actually. I've got Luton to win and Hull to draw. So we've both got Preston to be relegated with Plymouth and Cardiff. In terms of the playoffs, I've got Coventry 6th and Bristol City 5th. You've got Bristol City 5th and Coventry 6th as well, but Coventry are going to be relying on results elsewhere.
It's horrible.
We've both got Leeds to win the title.
Yes, yeah.
Wow, there you go. That wraps it up, guys. That is our Championship predictions, the final one of the regular season. As I say, keep your support coming. Make sure you've dropped a like and subscribed because we've still got content coming over the next couple of weeks until the end of the playoffs as well, of course. Honestly, thank you so much for your kind messages. Thank you so much for your support this season. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you for more very soon. Like I say, look out for the match vlog on Saturday. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
It's been a fantastic season. We will see you guys all very soon. Take care. Peace out.